what should I read next? That's our project, winter project. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just check the introduction video and it'll explain everything. But what we're going to do, if you want to see this separately, we're going to use Python to scrape goodreads data about nonfiction books, recommended nonfiction books. Okay, so it would be like a scraping tutorial. So if you go to goodreads.com and then we go to nonfiction, you can pick any category you like, obviously, it's going to work the same way. And then we go to must read nonfiction. That's the list that I want. So what I want to do is I want to scrape this data. I want to get the top 20. Obviously, I don't want to get them all. No need for that. There's quite a few in here. I don't think there's any pagination on Goodreads. It just brings you everything. So yeah, top 20 would be enough. Then we can expand if you want to. That won't be not so hard. So how do you do it? How do you do scraping in Python? Okay, so I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. It's actually very, very good, unfortunately, but it is. So I'm using that. I changed. And we are going to, you can use any code editor that you like. And I'm going to use 3 libraries: Requests, Beautiful Soup, and Pandas. If you don't have them installed in your environment, you need to do that. If you don't know what an environment is, you never code anything, just check my Python crime game, start there, okay? So if you already started with Python, this is tutorial for you. I'm going to get a Python environment. It is my YouTube Python. You can check, use an environment that has these 3 libraries on. The next thing that we're going to do is create a variable for the URL that we're going to scrape, which is the one that we copy from Goodreads. And then to actually get the HTML back from Python is so easy if there's no authentication. If there's authentication, things get a bit harder. But here there's none. So we're going to do response or R. This is just the name of the variable. You can name it anything that you like. And then you do requests.get and then URL. And then to get the response arc, you get r.text. And this should give you the HTML code for the website. You can see it here. And now you can start going through the code and see, okay, what part should I extract? Now we're going to use Beautiful Soup to do the HTML extraction because it just makes things so easy. So instead of our text, or we are doing our text, but we're going to have Beautiful Soup process the HTML. And then this is going to be HTML parser. We're going to use HTML parser. There are other parsers. There are LX something. There are different ones. The HTML is the most common. I think the LXML, whatever, is the most powerful, but also the most difficult. So yeah. So print. So if you execute these and then you call the variable soup, you'll see the same thing. There's the HTML code, but now it's being parsed with the Beautiful Soup, and you can see that it's rendering differently, so you can read it better. Still, there's no way to go to this HTML code and understand what the heck is going on. That's not the point either. We're going to go back to the actual website. We have it here. So I'm going to, on the title of the first book, right-click, Developer Tools, Inspect, right? And the browser is going to give you I'm using the Vivaldi browser. Vivaldi is going to, or whatever browser you have, is going to give you the HTML code behind the website. And you can see here, but because I picked the title, when I hover over here, it highlights the title there. It means that we're looking at the title. I do want to get the entire all the stuff, not just the title. I want to get everything for all of the books, the entire list. And then you can see here that this table you see table, class, table, whatever, contains the entire list. So this is the one that I want to get the information from. You can actually go here, double click, Control C, and then go back to Python and paste. I'll show you. So we're going to get table, and then there is the most common function in Beautiful Soup is this one. So it's soup, which soup is the variable that contains all the HTML code, and then dot, and then you do find all tags. If you want to find one, you just find, but we want to find all, then you first write the tag that you want to find, and it's the table tag. And the next part is the class. You need to know a little bit of HTML, but not that much. So you can see here, table is the tag, class is the class, this class name that we copied. And when we do that, we need to execute, obviously, table, so you can see what that contains. So it's actually going to get all the contents of the table, so all the books, all the titles, all the images, all the right? To explain this a little bit better, instead of using find all, for now I'm going to use just find, so we don't have to loop it. You'll see what I mean in a second, or a bit later on. So now that we have table find, it gives us the table, and if we want to get the title for the contents of that table, if we go back here, so the title, if you remember, you can actually, as I move through HTML code, you can see that it highlights where it is. So here we are, the book titles. So is the tag A, the class book title. So if I now put title soup find, the tag was A, and the class was book title, and then I put title, is going to give me hopefully the first title of the list. It doesn't give me the first title of the list, obviously. It gives me what is inside the A tag on the book title for the first one. If I put the doc text in here, it will get me the title of the list. You'll see. You see? And then if we want to remove the N and N, there is actually a very neat, in the new Python 3.9, that you can just do remove suffix and remove prefix, and there you have it. That's the correct title. Okay, so we've got the information for the first title, but we want to have it for all the titles on the table. So we need to start looping these. So we're going to do for table, this is a variable name, call it whatever you want. In soup, find all now. There. Now, so because we're going to do the same thing for title, for author, for scores, we're going to define the soup thing in the variable, and then we will call it. So this title soup find all. And then is a class book title, and then we need to loop for all the titles. So we do for title in title. I could actually write these instead of title, but we're going to do multiple, and then it's going to be messy. So for that, then we're going to know to do title. These are titles, title equal to whatever it comes out of the loop, and then the text. Do you remember the prefix and suffix and all that stuff? We're going to put it there. And if I do print title, it should give me all the titles. And then we have it. Perfect. Okay. Now, next thing, I want to put this in a data frame, because coming from the business intelligence world, I like to see things in tables. Probably the most efficient way is to put in an array. We will get to that when I get better at it. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to create an empty list. This would probably call it book data. And I am going to append book data dot append, and then I'm going to put in a dictionary, so then I can create a data frame out of it with the column names and all that stuff. So this is going to be title equal to title. So for every loop is going to get appended into a list, and then the list we're going to put it into a data frame. So df, which is a data frame for pandas. The function to convert this into a data frame is book data. Very simple. And then we're going to execute the data frame. So we get a table. And now we have everything into a data frame, which is a table. Gorgeous. I'm going to do one more and then I will let you do the other ones. So I'm going to do, let me go back. I'm going to do if you click on the title of the book, I'll take you to where you get more information. We're going to be needing these in future scraping. So we want to get that URL. This is the URL in here. And that URL is actually located in here, A class, and then href. This is a bit different to do, so I'm going to show you how to do it. The other three, which is going to be the author, the ratings, and the scores, you get them, okay? Because they're done the same way. But let's do one more. So because it is on the same tag as the title, we can reuse what we have from the title to extract the link. And this is how it works. So we're going to keep titles, and then I'm going to do URL is equal to TL. And then you need to do, it's a bit different, it's href. And these, then we're going to add to our dictionary, URL equal URL, so we can add it to our pandas data frame. And then we have it, but it does not give us entire URL, which we definitely want. So we need to have first the let me show you. Goodreads, it starts with show, so we need to have Goodreads and then book. Oh no, it has book, so we need to have and remove book because book is already there, and then intro, and then we have the URL. I'm going to do one more because I want to show you how to look both, otherwise you will be a little bit lost. We're going to get the author also. So go back, the author would be not there, author to this, in there, here it is, author name. So this is the one that we need to use. Then we are going to get author equal to soup find all, and then we're going to have span, and then the class is going to be, you can actually skip the class thing, it works anyway, but this was book author, I think. No, it's author name. And now what we need to do is go back to the loop, and then we're going to get a new variable name for the author, and then here we're going to have these go together. So for this snippet, get the title and get the author. So you do that by zipping. You use zip titles, and then you do author. And then here we're going to get author equal to text. And then we're going to add to our dictionary. And we execute it, and hopefully we get the author too. And then you get the author, as you can see here. Now, it is your job to get the rating on the score. You do it the same way, you dig through the HTML code, and then you add, and then you get everything. So if you want to jump ahead, what we're going to do in the next video is, instead of getting the title, the author, and the rating from, let me show you. Instead of getting from this page, we're going to get it from this page, because we want to get the description, we want to get the genre, and the categories, we want to get more information, and we won't be able to get it from the other place. So we're going to keep the work we've done now, so we keep the URLs, but then we will loop the URLs and grab the title, the author, the scores, the description from this page instead. So if you want to give it a go, do it now and see how I did it, and let me know. Just share the code if you feel inclined to do so. Okay, so see you in the next part. Take care.